everyone, welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this Thanks You Are Amazing card. The dies are from the Amazing Thanks dies that partner up with the Amazing Silhouettes stamp set. And so today I'm going to walk through how to use the dies to layer them up. And the more detailed ones that go on the top, you can use them without the background. Or you can use them with. But I thought I'd go through how to use the adhesive sheets. I talk about the adhesive sheets a lot. I use them, but I thought I'd walk you through how they work. There's a package. This is 6 inches by 12 inches. And it's actually, you can actually tear them into 2-inch strips. So what happens with these, I've already cut out the backgrounds. So we'll work on cutting out the front pieces. But to do that, what we're going to do is I've got a 2-inch strip of the Coastal Cabana. So it's going to go on like this. So what I need to do is I need to peel the paper up. What's between here is, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tear this. See how I'm tearing it into the strips? So I can put that back in. And if you want, if you've got a 6-inch piece that you want to make sticky, just do the whole thing. You don't have to tear the strips. I'm just picking up an edge, and of course the one I did earlier came up really easily. Okay, so what happens with this is there's 2 layers. One has the sticky on it, and the other is the top layer. Okay, so when I peel this up, this piece of paper, it's almost like wax paper, comes up no problem at all. This side has the sticky on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel this back a little bit, and I am going to line this up so it's relatively straight. And then what I can do is I can just peel this back. I'm just holding it up so you can see. I'm just peeling this back and laying this down as I go. Now what's going to happen at the end, I haven't pulled it all the way off because this now is just loose. It's the top layer that covers up the sticky. This piece down here doesn't have anything to make a sticker with. It's still your sticky paper with the covering over top. So if you like, you can keep these pieces. If you wanted to make something small, like little hearts for Valentine's Day, really good for that. Otherwise, if you're not inclined to keep it, you can just toss it. So I've peeled my top layer off. So this is now a piece of Coastal Cabana with the adhesive sheet on it. So I'm just going to cut it in half so it's easier to put through the machine. So I'm going to just move all my dies to the side. I'm going to lay these down. This is the sticky side. Well, it will be when we peel it. But I'm just going to lay these down. Actually, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to use a new plate. That one is pretty banged up. So these will lay flat now because I've got the other plate down. And I'm just going to lay these down. I tend to make the most of my adhesive sheets. So wherever you can conserve space, you can. And then I'll just put my new top plate on. And I'll run the whole thing through the machine. Sometimes if your plates are really, really well used, they will leave marks. They'll actually start to leave impressions on your paper, like a rough surface on your paper. So it's a good idea to change out your plates when they get really rough. Like mine is really, really well used. And especially if you're using any of the foil papers, you need to have a clean, fresh surface here, because otherwise it will leave impressions on your foil and your foil won't be nice and smooth. So what I've got here now is the die cuts with adhesive on the back. To put these together, you can also use your liquid glue, your fine line glues, if you don't have the adhesive sheets. These, it's really, really helpful to have the adhesive sheets because it makes it so much easier and it's way less messy. The glue can sometimes be a little bit messy. So that one popped out on its own. And I'm just gonna encourage that one to come out. So these are still good. You can still, there's still lots of paper to use on there. So you can choose to, however you'd like to store them. You can store them with their color groups, with your scraps, or what I tend to do is I have a little bag with anything that's got the adhesive sheets on it. All the scraps that have adhesive on go into the same bag so that I can just pull them out and reuse little bits. Like I say, for little hearts for Valentine's Day, I used a lot for berries at Christmas time. Just get some real red going on and use pieces from previous. So these are the detail dies that go on top of the other dies. I feel like I'm not explaining this very well. But the two dies work together. These ones, as you can see, can work alone. And that's that one. And that's the background, which is that one. And this, when we peel the backing off, will layer up on here. So I'm just gonna pop the dies out of the way. And what I did with this one is I used the Hive 3D embossing folder. It's a new embossing folder. And when you use it the right way around with the Stampin' Up! Logo at the top, and you put your paper in and take it out, it actually looks like a honeycomb. But this time I decided I wanted the larger blocks on the back. I'm just going to run this through. I'm just going to put it through. This is a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 in the Coastal Cabana. I apologize if I've said Calypso Coral. I have that in my head, but it is actually the Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to put my folder through. In your folders, you always put the hinge edge through first, and you always put it through straight. It does make a clunking noise in the machine because it's a hard edge going through, but if you don't, you can actually warp your folders and twist it and actually crack your folder edge. So that's the Hive folder. Like I say, this is the way it's designed to be up, so it looks kind of like you're looking into a beehive. But I want to use it this way up. Looks more like mosaic tile or cobblestone. And that's how I'm going to use it this time. So this is a standard card base. It's just a tent fold. You can do it as a side folding, side opening landscape card. But I am just going to add this piece on with my Stampin' Seal. And because of the way the folder is designed, I'm actually going to put adhesive all the way around the edges instead of kind of 3 strips across the back, because if I don't put adhesive all the way around, the sides are going to lift up and it'll warp a little bit. And I don't want that look on this card particularly. So we've got that pushed down. So now what we need to do is we need to start putting our die cuts together. So you just need to peel the backing off, and you just need to be a little bit careful so that you don't stretch or tear your words at all. Now these are sticky, they're like stickers. So you just want to put it on your background and just kind of make sure you're putting it on where it needs to go before you press down. For the most part, you can reposition these. but every time you move it, it kind of stretches everything. So you want to see if you've got it together perfectly the first time. So let's do the amazing. And the other ones are really quick to do. So let's just peel the backing off this one. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Like I say, just do it gently so that you're not stretching it like that. Okay, so we're just going to peel that off. And because this one's stretched, we're going to have to be extra careful how we lay it down to make sure that we actually have everything where it needs to be. Okay, so I'm just going to put the M down and I'm going to lift my fingers out of the way. You can use tweezers to do this as well, if you find it easier. There we go. And just keep feeding it in where it needs to go so that it lines up. And you can see, maybe I'll do the other ones with the green background so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the thanks and the amazing done. So I'm going to pull in the R. And then we'll peel the back off of here. Okay. And then we'll lay this down again. We'll push the A into place and then wiggle it and adjust it so that we get the other letters where they need to go. Okay, and let's do the U. And again, just peel the backing off like that. And then we're going to line that up like that. Okay, so we've got all of our letters mounted. And now I've done the adhesive backing on these ones as well. And because they're more solid, you don't have to be quite as careful. So you can do this straight across, or you can do it at an angle if you want. So I am going to do mine at an angle. And then I'll just peel the backing off and just add them on. One thing I do want to add to this one is a little bit of bling. So I've got some of my in color jewels that I'm going to add to this. I just need to reach them down because I forgot to get them down before I started the card. So there we go. And we just pop this down. I'm just going to reach up and grab my bin of adhesives or my bling. Okay, I'm going to use the kind of the green ones. I'm just going to put them actually on the middle there. I don't necessarily want a different color on here. I just want to kind of bring a little bit of life and a little bit of bling to the card. So I'm just going to pop, maybe I'll put this one down here. So there we go. There is a Thanks, You Are Amazing card using the Amazing Thanks dies that are paired with the Amazing Silhouettes stamp set. So you could stamp these down and then put the thanks or you are amazing over top of the stamping. I've also used the adhesive sheets and showed you how to use those. And we've used the Hive embossing folder as well as the in color jewels. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.